ओंकारं बिन्दुसंयुक्तं नित्यं ध्यायन्ति योगिनः कामदं मोक्षदं चैव ओंकाराय नमो नमः। नमन्ति ऋषयो देवाः नमन्त्यप्सरसाङ्गणाः नरा नमन्ति देवेशं नकाराय नमो नमः। महादेवं महात्मानं महाध्यानं परायणं महापापहरं देवं मकाराय नमो नमः। शिवं शान्तं जगन्नाथं लोकानुग्रहकारकं शिवमेकपदं नित्यं श्रीकाराय नमो नमः। वाहनं वृषभो यस्य वासुकी कण्ठभूषणं वामे शक्तिधरं देवं वकाराय नमो नमः। यत्र यत्र स्थितो देवः सर्वव्यापी महेश्वरः यो गुरुः सर्वदेवानां यकाराय नमो नमः।
सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। Humble prostrations to one and all. In the last class we had seen Arjuna requests Bhagavan to withdraw his Vishvarūpam and to come in Chaturbhuja Rūpam. Bhagwan agrees to it, and then what happens? Let us see verse number 50. Sanjaya uvacha etyarjunam vasudevasthathoktva swakam rūpam darshayamasa bhūyah आश्वासयामास च भीतमेनं भूत्वा पुनः सौम्यवपुर्महात्मा इत्यर्जुनं वासुदेवस्तथोक्त्वा स्वकं रूपं दर्शयामास भूयः आश्वासयामास च भीतमेनं भूत्वा पुनः सौम्यवपुर्महात्मा. वासुदेवः अर्जुनम् इति उक्त्वा, thus saying, having said this to Arjuna, what did Bhagwan say? Bhagwan consoled Arjuna in the previous verse, saying that don't get deluded by this form. May you become free from fear, don't grieve, etc. So saying this, Vasudeva Bhūyah once again Tatha Swakam Rūpam Darshayamasa. He showed his earlier form, his original form, once again, Bhūyah. So Bhagwan withdrew his Vishvarūpam and then he took his original Rūpam. Punaha Mahātmā Soumya-rūpa bhūtva. Once again, Bhagwan, who is Mahātmā, infinite being, Soumya-rūpa bhūtva, he became Soumya-rūpa. Vapu means form. Soumya means peaceful, cheerful, loving and forgiving, gentle and soft, smiling and blessing, with full of compassion. So this form is called Soumya-rūpa, very pleasing to the mind. So Bhagwan gave up his Raudrasvarūpa, the frightening form, and took up Soumya-rūpa, soft, sweet, loving form. Then what did Bhagwan do? Enam bhitam ashvasayamasa. Enam, this. Who is this? Bhitam, frightened one. This frightened one. Who is this frightened one? Arjuna. So, Bhagwan ashvasayamasa, consoled this frightened one. Consoled Arjuna, who was frightened. So Bhagwan consoled the frightened Arjuna by coming back to his normal form. Now, a similar incident happens in every house. So here is a person who sees a very nice face mask of a lion in the market. So he purchases it and comes back home. He wears this lion mask and suddenly appears in front of his 5-year-old son. And the child, seeing this lion-faced being, not knowing that it is his father, the child is so frightened, he starts screaming in fear. And when this person sees that his child is frightened and is crying uncontrollably, He is not able to bear that sight. Then what does he do? He immediately removes the mask, throws it aside, lifts the baby and consoles him. Oh dear one, oh apple of my eye, oh Kanna, there is no lion here, I am your father, don't get scared. And this father lifting this child, kissing the child, consoling him, walking here and there. But the child keeps on crying. But slowly, when this understanding dawns in him that it is Father alone who has come in the form of a lion, it is none other than my own father, there is no lion here. Then what happens? His fear vanishes and he stops sobbing and is greatly consoled. But after some time, even if the father wears the mask and comes in front of the child is not scared because now he knows this is not any lion, this is my father. Now he will even start playing with this lion. So what made him fearless? It is the knowledge that this is not lion, this is my father. It is this knowledge which made him fearless. In the same way, Vishvarūpa Darshana is scary without right knowledge. But with knowledge, what kind of knowledge? Knowledge of the self, that Bhagavan alone has become everything. With the knowledge of the self, Vishvarūpa Darshanam becomes the most wonderful, fulfilling experience in life. Here Arjuna was scared because he did not have the knowledge of the self. Hence Vishvarūpa Darshanam became scary for him. Bhagavan, out of compassion for him, comes back to his original form and consoles Arjuna, just like that father consoling his son. So this consoling happens in the next verse. Verse number 51. Bhagavan consoles Arjuna and Arjuna finds peace of mind. He himself says this. So verse number 51. Arjuna uvacha drishtvedam manusham rupam tava saumyam janardana idanimasmi samvrittah sachetav prakritim gatah drishtvedam manusham rupam tava saumyam janardana idanimasmi samvrittah sachetav prakritim gatah. Arjuna says, O Janardana, O Janardana. What is Janardana meaning? Janardana means Janan ardayati iti Janardana. Arda means to hurt, to make a person cry. Arda also means to destroy, to kill, etc. So the one who makes people cry, the one who makes people suffer is called Janardana. This is one meaning. So Arjuna says, Bhagavan, you really made me cry and shiver with fear. O Janardana, tava idam saumya manusham rupam drishtva. Tava idam saumyam manusham rupam drishtva. Seeing your gentle human form, idanim, now, sachetah samvrittah asmi. I have become sachetaha, composed. Earlier I had become achetaha, now I have become sachetaha. Acheta means what? Acheta means a state where we lose our mind. When we lose our chitta, our mind, it is called acheta avastha. When our mind is not in our control, when we lose control over ourselves, when we become almost unconscious, this state is called acheta avastha. So here Arjuna is saying, Bhagavan, I have become sacheta. I have regained my balance, my composure. My mind has come back into my control. Now I am at peace with myself. And prakritim gata, I have come back to my natural state. I have come back to that state which I was experiencing before Vishvarūpa Darshanam. That normal state, natural state, I have regained. Prakritim gataha. Now Bhagavan describes the glory, the greatness, the rarity of Vishvarūpa Darshanam and how to gain that darshanam. That is in the following verses. So verse number 52. Shri Bhagavanuvāca Sudurdarshamidam Rūpam Drishtavanasi Yanmama Deva Apyasya Rūpasya Nityam Darshana Kankshinaha Sudurdarshamidam Rūpam Drishtavanasi Yanmama Deva Apyasya Rūpasya Nityam Darshana Kankshinaha. Arjuna, so Bhagavan said, Arjuna, Mamayat Rūpam Drishtavan, the form which you have seen just now, Idam Sudurdarsham Rūpam, this is a Durdarsham, very rare form. Sudurdarsham, very, very rare. Arjuna, this form which you have seen, this Vishvarūpam, it is a very, very rare vision. Devahapi asya rūpasya nityam darshana kankshinaha. Bhagavan, why do you call this form as very rare? Arjuna, even devatas, what to talk of human beings, even devatas, they always crave to see this vision. They always long to see this vision. Even they don't get to see this vision. What to talk of ordinary human beings? So this vision is a very, very rare one. Even devatas don't get to see it. Devatas are the people who have done lot of punya karmas and they have gone to Swargadi lokas. So even those people who have done lot of punya karmas, even they don't get an opportunity to see this vision. That's Bhagavan saying. Why is this vision a rare one and a great blessing? So we must know, this vision is the vision gained by spiritual knowledge. It is a spiritual knowledge which grants us this vision. So it is a vision gained by the enlightened ones. And it is a great blessing because it is this vision which puts an end to all sorrows and confusions of life. It is a vision which indicates the oneness between Jivatma and Paramatma. It is a vision which indicates our oneness with our Creator. It is a vision of oneness, free from all differences and pluralities. In fact, it is this vision from which all virtues emanate. It is this vision which blesses us with liberation and frees us from birth-death cycle. It is this vision which makes the mind desireless. It puts an end to all desires, all worldly desires. It is this vision which blesses us with fulfillment and absolute contentment. So it is a vision where one sees Bhagwan and Bhagwan alone everywhere. Ishvara Darshanam in the entire Vishwam is Vishvarūpa Darshanam. So the whole Vishwam is seen as Ishvara-rūpam. This is Vishvarūpa Darshanam. So being the noblest vision, the greatest vision, the most exalted, the most divine vision. So naturally therefore, Devaha Nityam Darshana Kankshinaha. That is the reason why Devatas, they long to have this vision. Everyone, they long to have this vision because this vision is a result of a great blessing from the Lord. Why is this vision rare? Sudurdarsham. Durdarsham means very rare. Sudurdarsham means very, very difficult. In fact, in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says this very many times. The rarity of this knowledge, the rarity of this vision. For example, in 7th chapter, Bhagavan says, Vasudevaha sarvam iti sa Mahātmās sudurlabha. A Mahātmā who has known that Vasudevaha sarvam, the whole world is nothing but Vasudeva, it is nothing but Bhagavan alone. Such a Mahātmā, such an enlightened one is sudurlabha. Now see the term here. Durlabha means rare, sudurlabha means very, very rare. Again Bhagavan says, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kaschit mam veti tattvataha. Manushyanam sahasreshu, among thousands and thousands of people, kaschit, very rare few, siddhaye yatati, they strive for perfection. Very rare few. Very, very few people are those who turn to spirituality. They understand the importance of spiritual life. Among thousands and thousands, rarely you will find one or two. Very rare few, they strive in spiritual path. And yatatamapi siddhanam, among those spiritual seekers who are striving hard, kaschit, very rare few, mam veti tattvataha, they reach me, they know me in reality. So very, 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 very rare few, they actually know Bhagavan in his true essence, in reality. So this Bhagavan himself is saying in many, many places. Now, why is Bhagavan saying this to Arjuna, that this vision is rare? Bhagavan says this to Arjuna to make him realize the importance of this vision, the rarity of this vision, the preciousness of this vision. Very many times what happens? We get a very precious thing, but we don't realize the preciousness of that thing, the importance of that thing. We get it and we take it very lightly. So Bhagavan is reminding Arjuna, making him realize that what you have gained is not something very insignificant, it's something very, very important, the most important. At the same time, Bhagavan is also giving a gentle reminder, a loving advice to all seekers. Why is Bhagavan saying that this vision is very rare and even Devatas crave for it? What Bhagavan is saying is, this achievement is a great achievement to gain this Vishvarūpa darshanam, and therefore single pointed effort is essential to gain this vision. A half-hearted approach, an absent-minded approach will not do. All-out effort, a wholehearted effort is essential to reach the goal. Our entire life must be dedicated to reach this goal. Because in life we find greater the goal, greater the effort to reach the goal. This we find in life. Then what to talk of this goal which is the greatest? So the greatest amount of effort, wholehearted effort is necessary to reach this goal. So this is a loving advice to all spiritual seekers. Now a question comes, in which direction should we put forth effort? What is that we must do? What is that we must cultivate in ourselves to reach this goal? So this is pointed out in the next 3 verses actually. The topic is how to gain Vishvarūpa darshanam, the do's and don'ts. Where should we focus? So let us chant verse number 53. Naham vedairna tapasa na danena na chejyaya shakya evam vidho drashtum drishtavanasi mam yatha. Naham vedairna tapasa na danena na chejyaya shakya evam vidho drashtum drishtavanasi mam yatha. Yatha mam drishtavanasi. Arjuna, just like you have seen this Vishvarūpa of mine, you have seen it. Evam vidaha na drashtum shakyaha. It is not possible to see this form by following any of the spiritual sadhanas. It's a very rare vision, and this vision cannot be gained by doing so many sadhanas. What are the sadhanas? Vedaihi tapasa danena cha ijjaya. Vedaihi, by the study of the scriptures. It is not possible. Tapasa, by doing severe austerities. It is not possible. Danena, by generous charity also it is not possible. Ijjaya, by performing rituals, Homa, Havana, Yaga, etc., it is not possible. Now, actually speaking, all these sadhanas are considered to be very noble, very high. Now, Bhagavan is saying even the noblest of the sadhanas cannot give us this vision. Bhagavan, does it mean that then no one will gain this vision? Because all these best sadhanas are incapable of doing so. Does it mean that no one will gain this vision? Bhagavan says, no, Arjuna, everyone can gain it. But this is the condition. Now, what is the condition? Next verse, verse number 54. Bhaktya tvananyaya shakyaha Ahamevam vidhurjuna Jnatum drashtum cha tattvena praveshtum cha parantapa bhaktya tvananyaya shakyaha ahamevam vidhurjuna Jnatum drashtum cha tattvena praveshtum cha parantapa. Arjuna, shakyaha, it is possible. Aham jnatum shakyaha, it is possible to know me. Aham drashtum shakyaha, it is possible to see me. Aham tattvena praveshtum shakyaha, it is possible to enter into me, become one with me in essence. But how? Evam vidaha, in this way. In which way? Bhaktya, through devotion. What kind of devotion? Ananyaya bhaktya, through single pointed devotion. So therefore Bhagavan is saying, Arjuna, definitely it is possible to gain this Vishvarūpa darshanam. So what is the condition? The condition is Ananya Bhakti, single pointed devotion. So the point is, whatever we do, whether it is yajna, dana, tapas or Veda adhyayana, let us do it, but let us do it with single pointed devotion for the Lord. So emphasis is upon devotion. Yajna, dana, tapas, Veda adhyayana, etc. will not give you Vishvarūpa darshanam. Doesn't mean that we should not give up all that. No, that is not the point. The point is, yajna, dana, tapas should be done, but it should be done with devotion. So the most important thing is not action, but the attitude behind action, the attitude of devotion. Now this particular point, Bhagavan repeatedly points out in very many chapters. In very many chapters, Bhagavan says this again and again, that I am interested in devotion, not in action. What I look for is devotion, the feeling of love. This is the most important thing. This alone is going to give results, not action. Results come from devoted action. In very many places Bhagavan has said this. For example, in the 9th chapter Bhagavan says, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti upahritam ashnami prayatatmanah. So Bhagavan says there, whatever you may give, whether it is patram, leaf, pushpam, flower, phalam, fruit, toyam, water, what you give, what you offer unto me is not what is important. What is important is bhaktya. Whatever you offer with bhakti, what do? Ashnami, I accept it, I eat it. But the condition is tadaham bhakti upahritam, given with bhakti. So whatever spiritual sadhana we do, let us continue doing it, but let us keep this in mind, that these sadhanas should be done with bhakti, because bhakti is the most important thing. In the 10th chapter also Bhagavan says, Tesham satatayuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayantite. So those who worship me pritipurvakam, with full of devotion, ever steadfast. So those people who worship me with devotion, what do? Dadami buddhi yogam, I give them buddhi yoga, I give them the knowledge of the self. So for qualification of self-knowledge also, what is that which is a qualification for self-knowledge? It is again worship with devotion. So for self-knowledge also qualification is devotion alone. Again in the 6th chapter Bhagavan says on meditation. 6th chapter is a chapter on meditation, Dhyana Yoga. So there Bhagavan says, which yogi is the greatest? So Bhagavan says the greatest yogi is not a karmi, a person who does lot of selfless action, not a jnani, a scholar who has studied lot of scriptures, not a tapasvi, a person who has done lot of austerities. No, all these people are not the greatest yogis. And who is the greatest yogi? Bhagavan says, yoginam api sarvesham mad gatena antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yuktatamo mataha. Among all the yogis, who is the greatest yogi? The one who worships me, who loves me from the very core of his heart, and who is full of devotion and faith in me. Such a person I consider as a greatest yogi. So again, what is highlighted is devotion. Again in 12th chapter also, Arjuna asks this question, Bhagavan, who is the greatest knower of yoga? Who is the one who knows spiritual path thoroughly? So again Bhagavan says, Mai aveshya manoye mam nitya yukta upasate shraddhaya parayopetaha te me yukta tamamataha. Arjuna, those people who Mai aveshya manaha, those people who have fixed their mind upon me, they have absorbed their mind in me in full devotion, ever steadfast, full of faith, considering me alone as the Supreme. Such devotees I consider as the greatest knower of yoga. So everywhere Bhagavan is emphasizing only one thing, bhakti, bhakti, bhakti. In 14th chapter also Bhagavan says, who is the one who is going to cross over the 3 gunas? Who is the one who is going to cross over the Maya? Who is the one? Bhagavan says, Mam cha yog vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatite tan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. So the one who does this kind of bhakti, avyabhicharini bhakti, single pointed, non-wavering devotion, with this, Mam sevate, those who worship me. Such a person, what happens to him? Sagunan samatityetan. He crosses over the 3 gunas. He crosses over all Maya. And then Brahma bhuyaya kalpate. He becomes fit to become Brahman. So, in the 14th chapter also Bhagavan tells the same thing. So, everywhere, in short, the main importance is given to bhakti alone. This noble emotion of love towards God, this bhakti is emphasized in all chapters, in all different kinds of yogas. So in here also, in the 11th chapter also, Bhagavan says, bhakti alone is the qualification to gain Vishvarūpa darshanam. The same idea is mentioned in Bhagavatam also. Bhagavatam also tells the same thing. In Bhagavatam it is said, bhakti is the mother and jnana and vairagya, they are the children of Bhakti Mata. Mukti is just a dasi, a servant maid. So wherever bhakti is there, mukti has to follow choicelessly. So if bhakti is there, then jnana is there, vairagya is there, moksha is there, everything is there. So the point is, if soham is the goal, dasoham is the means. If self-knowledge is the goal, devotion is the means. So practice dasoham and Bhagavan will bless us with the experience of soham. So this is the point. So here Bhagavan says, Jnatum drashtum tattvena praveshtum shakyah. Arjuna, bhakti is such a wonderful thing. This Ananya Bhakti is such a wonderful thing. With this bhakti, you can achieve all this. What are the things you can achieve with this bhakti? Jnatum, you can understand that Bhagavan, know that Bhagavan fully well. How to know Bhagavan? Bhakti is the way. Drashtum, how to see Bhagavan, how to get his vision? Bhakti is the way. Tattvena praveshtum, how to become one with Bhagavan, how to know our oneness with Bhagavan? Bhakti is the way. Shakyah, it is possible. So every one of us can do this. Every being can gain all these three: Jnanam, Darshanam and Aikyam. Jnatum, Drashtum, Praveshtum. So we can gain Jnanam, knowledge regarding God, Darshanam, vision of God, and Aikyam, becoming one with God. So this is possible for all of us. So let us not think that only Arjuna got this vision, so therefore nobody else is going to get this vision. No, 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 no. Every one of us can gain this vision, provided we cultivate single pointed devotion. So here three things are mentioned: Jnanam, Darshanam and Aikyam. So what is this Jnanam? Jnanam means a knowledge regarding God. What is his nature? So with bhakti we come to know Bhagavan's nature is Satchit Ananda Swarupa. Existence, consciousness, bliss. Very many times this also is a question. What is Bhagavan? Who is Bhagavan? What is his nature? How can we please him? What is that which pleases Bhagavan? So many questions come. With bhakti we come to know the nature of Bhagavan. When we have bhakti in our heart, we comes to know Bhagavan loves humility, Bhagavan loves meekness, Bhagavan loves egolessness, Bhagavan loves simplicity, Bhagavan loves honesty, Bhagavan loves straightforwardness, Bhagavan loves innocence, he loves the path of righteousness, he loves the path of dharma, he loves the path of virtues. So we come to know about Bhagavan. So since Bhagavan loves all these, so what is our responsibility? Our responsibility is to do what Bhagavan likes. So first of all, we must have the knowledge, jnanam, regarding the nature of God, about his likes, dislikes, etc. There are things which Bhagavan doesn't like. That jnanam we must have. He doesn't like ego, arrogance, hypocrisy, falsehood. These are the things which he doesn't like. So therefore we must not do it. So the first thing is jnanam, knowing the nature of Bhagavan. And with this jnanam, then we must practice spirituality. Walking the path which is liked by God is actually spiritual path. Then what will happen? As we walk this path shown by the Lord, as we walk this path, the mind becomes purer and purer, and in such a mind, darshanam starts happening. What is darshanam? Darshanam means vision. We start gaining his vision, we start gaining his experience, we start feeling his presence in our heart. This happens only when we walk the path of spirituality. This happens only when we try to please the Lord by walking the path of dharma, by cultivating all noble virtues mentioned in the scriptures. So when we walk this path, mind becomes pure, and then we start having the darshanam of the Lord. So here darsana means we start feeling His presence. We start having His experience. We intuitively know that He is with us. We don't doubt His presence. This is called darshana. So this is the second stage. So after jnanam comes darshana. First, know the nature of God, then live a lifestyle pleasing God, then we start having darshanam of the Lord. Earlier, before walking this spiritual path, Bhagavan was only a stranger for us. We only had some information regarding Him, read from the scriptures, heard from satsangs, etc. Only some information was there. But now, when we start walking the path of spirituality, we intuitively start feeling His presence in our hearts. We know He is here. We feel His guidance. We feel His love. We feel His solace. We feel His nearness. We feel His peace. We feel His strength. And with all this, we start taking more and more refuge unto Him. So this stage is called the stage of darshanam. So after jnanam comes darshanam. Remember, with darshanam, jnanam also is strengthened. The more and more we feel His presence, the more and more we come to know His true nature. The more darshanam happens, the more jnanam also becomes firm. Jnanam also becomes clear. Jnanam and darshanam, they go together. Then what happens? The third stage is tattvena praveshtum. Entering into Bhagavan. Praveshtum means pravesha. Pravesha means to enter. Entering into Bhagavan means becoming one with Bhagavan. Just like a river entering into ocean means river becoming one with the ocean. Now the question is, can we become one with Bhagavan? At the body-mind level, it is impossible. This we must know. Becoming one with Bhagavan means what? We can never become one with Bhagavan at our individual level. As an individual self, as a Jivatma, it is impossible to become one with Bhagavan. Why? Because Bhagavan or Paramatma is Sarva Shaktiman, Jivatma is Alpa Shaktiman. Paramatma is Sarva Vyapi, Jivatma is Alpa Vyapi. Alpa Vyapi means he is limited, spatially limited. Bhagavan is infinite, we are finite. Bhagavan is Sarvatnya, He knows everything, He is omniscient. We are Alpatnya, we know very little, our knowledge is finite. Bhagavan is Sarva Shaktiman, all powerful. We are Alpa Shaktiman, our strength is finite, limited. Bhagavan is Mayapati. Paramatma is Mayapati, the Lord of Maya. Who are we? Jivatmas are Maya Dasa. We are slaves of Maya. So therefore, we can never say that we can ever become one with Bhagavan. Oneness is impossible at the body-mind intellect level. So then how to become one with Bhagavan? So it is said, tattvena. Now see this term, it is very important. Praveshtum, how? Tattvena praveshtum. Tattvena means in essence, in essence, in reality. In essence, what is Paramatma? What is the essence of Paramatma? Discarding the names and forms, the essence of Paramatma is nothing but Satchit Ananda. Existence, consciousness, bliss. This is the essence of Paramatma. What is the essence of Jivatma? The essence of Jivatma is not body, mind, intellect. The essence of Jivatma also is Satchidananda, existence, consciousness, bliss. So, essence of Paramatma equal to essence of Jivatma. So, tattvena praveshtum means knowing that the essence in me is the essence of the Lord. We are one essentially. So, in essence, aham brahma asmi. In essence, tat tvam asi. So, aikyam is possible only tattvena, in essence, with respect to essence. So, Jivatma Paramatma Aikyam is possible only tattvena. So, that is why Bhagavan is using this term tattvena praveshtum. So, praveshtum means to enter into Bhagavan and to become one with Him. So, once we enter into Him, only Bhagavan remains. We don't exist. Entering into Him means giving up our separate existence and merging our existence in His existence. This is the meaning entering into Bhagavan. Like when the river enters into the ocean, river disappears, only ocean remains. How could river become one with ocean? It is possible because tattvena, river is water and ocean is water. In essence, river is also water, ocean is also water. So, river entering into the ocean means what? Water merging with water. The identity of river is gone. What remains is only ocean. In fact, what remains is only water. Ocean is also the name of a form. So, when Jivatma merges with Paramatma, what remains is only Paramatma, and the nature of Paramatma, the essential nature of Paramatma is only Satchidananda. So, this is called as tattvena praveshtum. So, here Bhagavan says, Arjuna, you can know me, you can see me, and you can become one with me. You can know me, darshanam, jnanam is possible. You can see me, darshanam is possible. And also, Arjuna, you can become one with me. Aikyam is also possible. All is possible with this one entity, this one qualification called devotion. Choice is yours, Arjuna. What is it that you want? Jnanam, darshanam or aikyam, anything is possible. Now there are some devotees who don't want aikyam. They don't want to become one with the Lord. They just want to remain separate from the Lord and experience the love and devotion for the Lord. You see, when you become one with the Lord, it is not possible to love God, because who will love whom? The lover and the beloved, when they become one, loving is not possible. So they want to remain separate from the Lord so that they can love God. Lover loving the beloved. So this triputi is possible only when there is separation. So therefore, there are very many devotees like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, etc. They say, Bhagavan, I don't want to become one with you. I just want to remain separate from you so that I can love you and I can experience your love for me. So such devotees are there. So Ramakrishna Paramahamsa used to say beautifully well, he says, Bhagavan, I don't want to become sugar, I want to become an ant to enjoy the sweetness of sugar. It's a beautiful way of presenting. To love someone and to experience that love from someone, duality is needed. So these devotees prefer duality. They remain in Dvaita. So this is called as darshanam. Darshanam. I don't want aikyam, I want darshanam. So what is Bhagavan saying? In whichever way you want my company, either being one with me or being separate from me, in whichever way you want. All these are possible only through Ananya Bhakti. So, Bhakti is the key to enter into the kingdom of the Lord and have various relationships with the Lord. The key is Bhakti. Now, the most important question is how to cultivate this Bhakti. So, this topic is taken up in the last verse, verse number 55. We will chant this verse now and we will take it up in the next class. Verse number 55. Mat karma kranmat paramaha mad bhaktas sangavarjitaha nirvairas sarvabhuteshu yes samameti pandava mat karma kranmat paramaha mad bhaktas sangavarjitaha nirvairas sarvabhuteshu yes samameti pandava. Yes, such a person, mam eti, he attains to me, he becomes one with me. Jnanam, darshanam, aikyam is possible for him alone. Who is he? So here some pointers are given. Mat karma krit, the one who performs actions for me. Mat paramaha, keeping me as the highest goal of life. Mad bhaktaha, filled with devotion for me. Sangavarjitaha, free from attachment. Sarvabhuteshu nirvairaha, free from enmity towards all beings. Such a person, saha mam eti, such a person reaches me. Now, all these terms are beautiful terms. Discussion is needed. So, we will take up in the next class. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.